The Sealed Book of Mormon, chapter 27. Now, this power of Satan was over the entire earth during the reign of the kings and the civilizations that existed in and around the fertile river valleys of the earth. And because of his power, no one kingdom or empire could survive for long periods of time. Nevertheless, there were some that survived longer than others, depending on the inner conflicts that arose within each empire. For when the leaders could no longer subdue the majority of the people of another nation, which were the poor and the labouring class, then they would turn their armies against their own people, and this would cause brother to rise up against brother, and family against family, thus eroding the uniting principle upon which these nations were founded. But in all the nations of the earth during the time of the Egyptians until the latter days, the rich and powerful, which were the few among many, ruled over and subdued the majority, and the desires of the rich and powerful were given unto them by their God, who is Satan. And the cause of their power did not come from the strength of their own arm, neither did it come from the strength of their friends or of their families. For the friends and the families of the rich and powerful, even the leaders of all the nations, are weak, like unto themselves. Behold, their strength and their power cometh from their armies and their navies, even the means of force that Satan hath built up to protect and provide his servants with the blessings that he hath promised them. And if money had not been introduced among the children of men, or if a value had not been placed upon the things of the earth that have no intrinsic value as to the sustaining of our daily lives, then these rich and powerful would have nothing with which to pay their soldiers and their generals and their captains. And if they cannot pay their soldiers and their generals and their captains, then they would not have armies and navies. And the riches which they receive to pay for the means of force that they set up for their protection do not come from their own work, neither from the sweat of their own brow. But these riches come unto them like they came unto Benelli, who first introduced the system of value or money in the beginning. For Benelli used flattering words and taught the people to have pride in themselves and also in their families. And this same pride was a tactic that had been used by many leaders to bring the minds and hearts of the majority under their control. For these leaders speak of the greatness of their nation as if it was the only nation that mattered upon the earth, and they stir up the people to patriotism and hate for all other nations of the earth. And with this feeling of patriotism, the poor send their sons to serve in the armies of these leaders, believing that by doing so, their sons would bring honour to their family, in that their sons have stood to defend their country and their lands from the wickedness of other nations. And they would be convinced by the leaders of their own nation that the works of other nations are evil, and that these evil works threaten the security of their own nation. And when the people are thus convinced, then they are willing to give all that they can as a tax to these leaders, believing that they are supporting their freedom and their nation. And in this way do the peoples of the earth divide themselves, and each nation putteth itself above another. And when they go to war with each other, the soldiers of the armies do not think that they are killing their brothers and their sisters, but that they are killing an enemy who is a possible threat to their own families and their own nation. And now I, Moroni, have seen these great nations and their armies, and the great power that the leaders of these nations have over the hearts of the children of men. And the brother of Jared wrote concerning that which he beheld occurring in the world, to which all the spirits of the children of men would return when they are murdered or slain in battle for the sake of their nations and their leaders. And it came to pass that the brother of Jared wrote of two men whose names were Selatharid and Amigo, and they were both soldiers who were engaged in battle in a war that took place between the armies of the nation of the Hittites and the nation of the Babylonians. And as these two soldiers were thus engaged in fighting one another, they rose up against each other and thrust their daggers deep into the heart of the other. And as they felt the searing heat of the pain entering their hearts from the cut of the daggers, they looked into the eyes of each other and wondered for that moment why they had done this. And in the tongue that each spoke, and with their last breath, they did curse each other and died. And the brother of Jared wrote concerning them, saying, And each of their spirits left the mortal flesh, and entered into the dimensions of the spirit world. And they were each greeted by those who were dead, even those who had been the most familiar to them while they were mortal. And each of them forgot for that moment what had been the cause of their deaths, for they were overwhelmed by the great love of those spirits who had surrounded them and welcomed them into the spirit world. And without the flesh, their memories were enhanced, and they began to remember their existence as spirits prior to the days of their probation in mortality. And after a time it was brought to their remembrance the cause of their death, and also their works and actions during the days of their probation upon the earth in the flesh. And in the course of the spirit, Selatharid went back to the battlefield and saw his flesh thereupon, and also the flesh of Amigo, the man in whom he had thrust his dagger. And Selatharid returned again to the reception area of the spirit world, in which the spirits of all the children of God are received upon their death, to be greeted by their loved ones who had preceded them in death from mortality. And he searched out this man whom he had killed on the battlefield, and Selatharid found Amigo among the other spirits who had met him upon his entrance into the spirit world. And Selatharid approached Amigo and was wont to speak with him. And because the spirit was not burdened by the flesh and its limited means of communication, both of these spirits recognized each other from their thoughts and began to hate one another for what they had done to each other during battle. And there was a great silence among those spirits who were there surrounding Selatharid and Amigo. And these two spirits stood in front of each other for a time, perceiving the thoughts and the memories of one another. Yea, they truly were becoming aware of the experiences and the past life of each other through the communication and power of the spirit. And Amigo spoke unto Selatharid, saying, I know you now. You were my friend in this same spirit world before we entered into mortality. And you entered into mortality first, that you might begin the days of your probation as a man amongst the Hittite people of the earth in a family that you had chosen for the days of your probation. And I watched you grow as a child, and I wandered upon you before I left this place and entered into mortality into a Babylonian family. And why was it that our final thoughts of each other in this spirit world were thoughts of love and respect, even thoughts of genuine concern for our plights during the days of our probation? Yea, and our final thoughts of each other in the flesh were thoughts of hate and prejudice, even that we did curse each other with our final breaths. Do we not even now remember our lives as spirit children of our Father? And can we not remember the experiences of our mortal probation, even all the days of our lives among the peoples and the nations to which we were born? And how can we have this hate for each other, which was garnered and perpetuated by the nations and the families to which we belonged in mortality? Yea, how can we continue to have this hate now that we are spirits again and understand all these things? Are we not both children of the same God, even of the same eternal family to which all of these spirits belong? And Selatharid and Amigo pondered briefly upon the situation in which they found themselves, and they realized what had happened to them during the days of their probation. And they embraced each other by the power of the Spirit, and were in a state of torment for a time for the way that they had felt about each other in the flesh. And they wondered on the cause of such wickedness to which they had let themselves be submitted in the flesh. And as they wondered upon these things, the Spirit who had been the father of Selatharid in mortality did appear before them. And Selatharid did not have memories from mortality of this Spirit being as his father, but he did recognize him as his friend, whom he had known in the spirit world before he had entered into mortality. For the father of Selatharid was a righteous man, who had been killed by the Babylonians in the flesh, while Selatharid was still a young child at the knee of his mother. And this spirit bade that Selatharid and Amigo follow him into the world. And the three of them went unto the house of Selatharid among the people of the Hittites. And there they saw the mother of Selatharid weeping exceedingly because of the report she had received that her son had died in a battle against the Babylonians. And the mother of Selatharid carried within her heart an extreme hatred for the Babylonians. And Selatharid knew of this hate, having had it taught unto him all the days of his youth. For he was taught by his mother to hate the Babylonians for what they had done to his father. And as a youth in the flesh, Selatharid began to curse the Babylonians and dream of vengeance upon their heads for that which they had done to the father that he never knew. And his heart was full of anguish and hate because of the things that were taught to him by his mother. And these three spirits could sense this hate and this anguish and the exceedingly great pain of the mother of Selatharid. And there was another son, who was the younger brother of Selatharid, and he was attempting to console his mother, saying, My dearest mother, cry not for thy son, even for my brother Selatharid, for I will avenge his death upon the Babylonians who have taken from thee thy husband and thy son. And the spirits could perceive the intense anger and hate that swelled up in the heart of the brother of Selatharid as he thought on killing the Babylonians who had killed his brother and also the father that he never knew. And as a spirit, Selatharid tried to comfort his mother and his brother through the ministrations of the spirit world in which he was confined. But they would not listen to his gently promptings because of the hate and the anguish that filled their souls. And Selatharid began to feel this anguish and this misery, which is described as the state of misery that the souls of the wicked experience when they return to the spirit world and begin to ponder on the works that they did in the flesh, and also upon the things that they did in the flesh to cause so much pain and anguish to others. And Selatharid could not relinquish the misery which he felt, for it engulfed his whole spirit. For he had hated the Babylonians, even with all of his soul, during the days of his probation. And he had taught his younger brother, according to the flesh, this hate and this prejudice against those who had killed their father. And now he could see the fruits of his labours, for he knew that his brother would go up to battle against the Babylonians, and that his brother would be destroyed, like he was destroyed, because of the strength and the great numbers of the Babylonians, but also from the blind hatred that swelled in the heart of his brother. And there was nothing that he could do for his mother or for his brother to relieve them of their misery. And as he observed and felt their misery, it increased his own, and he was in a state of hell. And the spirit who was his mortal father spoke unto him, saying, For so many years I tried desperately to speak the consoling words of comfort to thee and thy mother, that ye might not hate the Babylonians, who are the children of God, and with whom we share the same Father, who hath placed us upon this earth, both as spirits, and also according to the flesh. But the hate of thy mother was too strong, and she influenced thy hate, and I could not convince either of you to listen to the promptings of the Spirit that I would give unto you. And now, my friend, for truly thou art my friend, and also my brother in the Father, here is thy spiritual friend, amigo, who was with thee before thy entrance into the days of your probation. And he is a Babylonian whom thou hatest, and whom thy mother and thy mortal brother hate, even with all of their souls. And ye have killed each other according to the flesh, but see each other according to the Spirit. And what is the cause of this hate that ye had between you in the flesh? Can ye see the great turmoil that Lucifer hath caused among us, because it was his desire that we be divided into families and into nations? And because ye were divided into families and into nations, and because ye had forgotten your spiritual existence before entering into mortality, ye began to hate each other. And the only time that ye met in mortality was upon the field of battle, in which ye were both killed in hatred and anger by the hand of each other. And there are many spirits who have returned to the spirit world, who have hated others during the days of their probation. And there are many spirits that have killed others because of this hate and this prejudice. Now let us go unto the house of Amigo, and see his family, and that which they are doing at this time. And the three of them went unto the house of Amigo. And at this time the family of Amigo had not yet received the news of the death of their son in battle, for the battle was decisively won by the Babylonian forces, and the entire army of the Hittites was destroyed in this battle. And because the Babylonians were victorious, they were celebrating in the streets of their cities, and they were praising the names of their gods for the death that they had caused to come upon the nation of the Hittites. And all of the soldiers had not yet returned to their families from the field of battle. And the family of Amigo assumed that their son would arrive with the returning armies and rejoice with them in the destruction of their enemies. And as a spirit, Amigo could perceive the thoughts and the desires of his family. And they were drunken with the wine of celebration, and filled with the exceeding pride for what they perceived to be the death of their enemies. And their dancing and their drunkenness and their wantonness were all done in celebration of this victory. And Amigo became exceedingly sorrowful in the spirit because of the things which he beheld. And he also made an attempt to speak to the souls of his father and his family, even according to the ministration of the Holy Spirit, as it was allowed to be administered in the spirit world according to the laws that govern that dimension of this mortal world. But his family would not take notice of that still small voice that penetrated deep within the hearts of the children of men, yet cannot be perceived in wickedness. And Amigo knew that he was also drunken with pride and hate for his enemy the Hittites while in the flesh, and that he would be considered a great hero among those of his family for having died in such a victorious battle. And Selatharid and Amigo were both exceedingly sorrowful for that which they witnessed as spirits among the people of the nation to whom they belonged during the days of their probation. And they wondered between themselves what was the true cause of the wars that existed between the two nations to which they belonged. And the spirit, who was the mortal father of Selatharid, beckoned to them that they would follow him. And they went unto the house and the palaces of the kings and the leaders of the nation to which they had belonged. And among the Babylonians there was much celebration, even exceeding pride and arrogance of those who led the people. And these leaders lived in luxury and pomp, having received all these things from the people whom they led. And Amigo and Selatharid could discern the hearts of their leaders, and their hearts were set upon their riches and their comforts and the security of their own families. And these spirits could perceive the apathy that these leaders had for the families of the poor and the majority, who had sacrificed their sons and their fathers for the battles against their enemies, who were in actuality only the enemies of the rich and of their leaders. And these spirits could see that the cause of the battles between them was for land and gold and silver and the fine things of the earth, after which their leaders lusted for themselves and also for their families. And these leaders had convinced the people of their nations that their own nation was greater than any other upon the face of the earth. And they were convinced and deceived by their leaders and the rich who controlled these leaders and who paid for the armies that secured their borders so that they could enjoy peace with their families. But for the people and the families of the other nations, they did not care, for these were of no concern to them, having thought of these other nations and peoples as their enemies. And the people thought of these other nations and these other peoples as their enemies, because of the flattering words of patriotism and courage that were given unto them by the leaders. For the leaders had convinced the people that they should fight for their country with pride and patriotism, and if they should die in defence of their country, then they would die as heroes of the nation. And Selatharid and Amigo realized that they did not die for their country, but they had died for their leaders, that these leaders might continue to have the riches and the prosperity that they desired, and also that these leaders and the rich might continue to have the power over the land and over the hearts and minds of the people. And Selatharid and Amigo were in a miserable state in the spirit world for that which they saw among those who were their families and their friends, even those of their own nation to which they belonged in the flesh. And in this state of misery they dwelt in the spirit world, without the ability to change what they had done during their mortality and the days of their probation. And now I, Moroni, would that ye should consider the things that the brother of Jared wrote concerning Selatharid and Amigo, and liken these things unto yourselves. For behold, throughout the history of the children of men, there have been countless wars and much misery because of the families and the nations that ye have allowed to exist among you. And I have seen the latter days that this same pride and arrogance that is spawned by the feeling of a family and country, even this same feeling of hatred of other nations, is the cause that sendeth many souls into the spirit world unprepared for what they shall experience there. For there shall be many who are soldiers, who shall die in battle, thinking that they are heroes and that they have died defending their country. But they shall enter into the spirit world and remain in a state of misery and hell, as they observe the real intent of their leaders in sending them to war against their brothers and their sisters of another country. And they shall see the spirits of those whom they have killed, and they shall recognize these spirits as the children of the same Father, even their own eternal Father. And they shall see the anguish that their mortal families have because of their death, and also the pride that they shall have, because in their anguish these families want to believe that their sons and their daughters fought for a righteous cause, and that they died as heroes. But I say unto you that they are not heroes, but in a state of hell and misery, because of the things that were taught unto them as children. Yea, even this pride and this arrogance that their parents and their leaders have caused them to feel for their country and their flags and the symbols of their countries, that cause this pride to rise in their hearts. O ye wicked and perverse people, what shall ye think in the presence of the Father of us all? What then shall ye think of the pride and patriotism that ye feel for your nations and your families? Will ye begin at that time to justify the killing of other children of God, whom ye have killed in your pride and your arrogance? Do ye think that the Father shall look at you and justify the murder of any of his children for the cause of patriotism and pride? Do you think that in any of these things ye shall be justified? I say unto you that ye shall not be justified, but ye shall be damned, and ye shall not partake of the holiness of the Father or of his kingdom, unless ye repent of this pride, and begin to realize that ye are all his children, and there existeth no nation or family under God. And now I would that ye should know that there hath existed war and carnage among the peoples of the earth, ever since they begin to place a value upon the things of the earth, and divide themselves into these family units. And there hath not been a time when there have not existed these wars and rumours of wars, according to the desires of Satan. And those of you that shall receive these things shall read of some of the great wars that have existed among the children of men and among the nations of the earth. And there is no such thing as a righteous war. Yea, there is no such thing as a war that was started and blessed by the Father. For behold, God would never command his children to kill one another. But these wars are caused by the god of this world, who is Satan, and it is Satan that hath blessed these wars and given the power to one nation to destroy another. Nevertheless, the Lord can aid in the defence of a nation, and only in this defence doth he suffer that any of the children of men should take up arms against their brothers and their sisters. Yea, even in the defence of your lives ye have been given specific commandments, which, if ye adhere to them, ye shall be blessed, and receive the blessings and assistance of the Lord. And these are the commandments of the Lord pertaining unto the defence of your nations. And the Lord hath spoken to his prophets regarding the defence of the governments that have been set up among the children of men. And all governments and constitutions and laws of the same must support the principle of freedom in maintaining rights and privileges for all. And any law or constitution given by a government that guaranteeth these rights and privileges of freedom shall be supported and befriended by all. And this is as it pertaineth to the law of man. For whatsoever is more or less than this cometh of evil. And the Lord hath spoken, saying, I, the Lord God, make you free. Therefore ye are free indeed, and the law should also make you free. Therefore I would that ye should seek diligently out from among you those who are honest and wise to be your leaders, and these should not be given to riotous living, neither should they be those who have set their hearts upon gold and silver and the precious things of the earth. Yea, there are many among the poor who are wise and honest, and even these, who have not set their hearts upon the things of the world, shall govern you in the service of love, and not for the money that ye would pay them to be your leaders. And your leaders should not receive for payment that which is greater than what they who are of a majority do receive for their sustenance. And ye should not seek out your leaders from among the rich and the successful, pertaining to the things of this world, for they have proven themselves already by their works. Nevertheless, those who would be your leaders, even those whom ye would choose from among the poor, yea, these should not want to take from those who are rich the desires of their hearts. For if ye take from the rich the desires of their hearts, which are the fine things of this world, then ye have taken away their freedom to pursue those things which cause their happiness. And a wise and a righteous leader among you shall respect the desires of happiness of all those whom he serveth, whether they be rich or poor. But his desires should not be for the things of this earth, but his desire should be to serve you and give you freedom to pursue your desires of happiness. And good men and wise men ye should observe to uphold. Otherwise, whatsoever is less than these cometh from evil. And I give unto you a commandment, that ye shall forsake all evil, and cleave unto all good, that ye shall live by every word which proceedeth forth out of the mouth of God. For he shall give unto the faithful line upon line, precept upon precept, and I shall try you and prove you herewith. And whoso layeth down his life in my cause for the sake of my name shall find it again, even life eternal. Therefore be not afraid of your enemies, for I have decreed in my heart that I will prove you in all things, whether ye shall abide in my covenant, even unto death, that ye may be found worthy before our Father. For if ye shall not abide in my covenant, then ye are not worthy of me. Therefore renounce war, and proclaim peace, and seek diligently to turn the hearts of the children to their fathers, and the hearts of the fathers to their children, even according to the covenants that I have made since the beginning, lest I come and smite the whole earth with a curse, and all flesh be consumed before me. For if I shall find no righteousness among you, then what cause would I have that would keep me from consuming all flesh? Let not your hearts be troubled, for in the house of my Father there are many mansions, and I have prepared a place for you, and where my Father and I am, there ye shall be also, if ye keep the covenant that I have given unto you. And if I will, I shall chasten the nations of the earth, and will do whatsoever I list, if they do not repent and observe all things whatsoever I have said unto them. And again I say unto you, if ye observe to do whatsoever I command you, I, the Lord, shall turn away all the wrath and indignation from you, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against you. Now I speak unto you concerning the families that ye have set up among you, and also the nations which exist because of these families, which ye have set up, contrary to the commandments that I have given unto you. But because ye have desired these things, I have suffered that they should remain among you, according to the desires of your hearts. And if any nation shall rise up and smite you once, and ye bear it patiently, and revile not against them, neither seek revenge, ye shall be rewarded. But if you bear it not patiently, it shall be accounted unto you as being meted out as a just measure unto you. And again, if your enemy shall smite you the second time, and you revile not against your enemy, and bear it patiently, your reward shall be 100-fold. But if ye bear it not patiently, even this second time, then ye shall be justified in your actions, but ye shall receive no reward from me. And again, if your enemy shall smite you the third time, and ye bear it patiently, your reward shall be doubled unto fourfold. And these 3 testimonies shall stand against your enemy, if he repent not, and shall not be blotted out, and I shall remember them always, and bring my vengeance upon them for your sake. And now, verily, I say unto you, if that enemy shall escape my vengeance, that he be not brought into judgment before me in the flesh, then ye shall see to it that ye warn him in my name, that he come no more upon you, neither upon your families or your nation unto the 3rd and 4th generation. And then, if he shall come upon you, I have delivered your enemy into your hands, and you can do unto them that which ye shall desire, to protect yourselves from him, or destroy him before you. But if ye shall spare him, ye shall be rewarded for your righteousness. Nevertheless, your enemy is in your hands, and if you reward him according to his works, then ye are justified before me. Yea, if he hath sought your lives and your freedom are endangered by him, then he is in your hands, and ye are justified. Behold, this is the law that I have caused to be given to all my prophets, and I have commanded them to teach these things unto the children of men in all the nations of the earth. And again, this is the law that I gave unto them, that they should counsel with the leaders of the nations, that they should not go out unto battle against any nation, kindred, tongue, or people, save I, the Lord, commanded them. But I do not want my children to hurt one another, but that they should love their enemies, and do good unto them. Nevertheless, because of the power of Satan, it is necessary at times that the righteous defend themselves against that which is evil. And if any nation, tongue, or people should proclaim war against them, they should first lift a standard of peace unto that people, nation, or tongue. And if that people do not accept the offering of peace, neither the second nor the third time, then shall the testimonies of which I have spoken be brought before me. Then I, the Lord, would give unto them a commandment, and justify them in going out to battle against that nation, tongue, or people, in defence of their freedom. And only in the defence of their freedom shall they fight. For if there is a people, or a nation, or a tongue, that doth not desire the freedoms, or the laws, or the constitution of freedom, then they shall not be forced to accept these freedoms, or these laws, or this constitution. And there shall never be a war of the offence given by my command. And if ye have abided by my commandments concerning these things, then I, the Lord, shall fight your battles, and the battles of your children, and the battles of the children of your children, until they have avenged themselves on all their enemies, to the 3rd and 4th generation. Behold, this is an example unto all people, saith the Lord your God, for justification before me. For I shall never command you contrary to the law of the gospel that I have given unto you. Nevertheless, I shall not allow you to be destroyed if ye are abiding in the law of the gospel, which is the covenant that I have given unto your fathers. And again, verily I say unto you, if after your enemy hath come upon you the first time, and he repenteth, and cometh unto you praying for your forgiveness, ye shall forgive him, and shall hold it no more as a testimony against your enemy. And this ye shall do unto the second time and the third time. And as oft as your enemy repenteth of the trespass wherewith he hath trespassed against you, ye shall forgive him until 70 times 7. And if your enemy trespasseth against you, and repenteth not the first time, nevertheless ye shall forgive him. And if your enemy trespasseth against you, and repenteth not the second time, nevertheless ye shall forgive him. And if your enemy trespasseth against you, and repenteth not the third time, ye shall also forgive him. But if he trespasseth against you the fourth time, and he repenteth not for that which he hath done, then ye shall not forgive him, but shall bring these testimonies before the Lord, and they shall not be blotted out before me, until he repenteth, and rewardeth to you fourfold in all things wherewith he hath trespassed against you. And if he doeth this, ye shall forgive him with all of your heart. But if he doth not do this, then I, the Lord, will avenge you of your enemy 100-fold, and upon his children and the children of his children, of all them that hate me, unto third and fourth generation. But if the children of your enemy repent, or the children of his children, and turn to the Lord their God with all their heart, and with all their might, mind, and strength, and restore fourfold for all their trespasses wherewith they have trespassed, then your indignation shall be turned away from them, and ye shall remember no more the trespasses of their fathers against you. And vengeance shall no more come upon them, saith the Lord your God, and their trespasses shall never be brought any more as a testimony before the Lord against them. And now I, Moroni, have included these commandments of the Lord, which he hath suffered to be given unto us, because of the wickedness of the trespasses that are prevalent among the children of men. And it is the nations with the most evil leaders that take an offence against another nation, and the purpose of their offence is for gain, for they desire this gain, that they might not work by the sweat of their own brow, and they love the honour and the praise of those whom they subject to their laws, which laws are set up to protect their riches and their honour and their glory among men.